Hey, happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Another day in the studio.
Welcome to ProBroKnow.
Yes.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
I'm good, man. I've been enjoying this like crazy 17, 18 degree weather.
Oh my God, I love it.
It is nice.
Bloody phenomenal.
It's not going to last though. It's going to be cruel. That's the problem. But
Yeah.
but I love it. Yeah.
The only crappy thing about it is that now that the snow melted, I can actually see what's in my backyard. and you guys know what that looks like. It's just a mud pile because there's no grass back there right now. So
Yeah. So now you're thinking about I have to do something about it.
yeah, so my time has come.
Are you going to do something this year?
Yeah, actually, we've already contracted somebody to do it.
What are you doing?
They're going to rototill it all up. Well, first they're going to spray some kind of weed killer of sorts on there. Going to rototill the whole thing up, bring in some more fresh topsoil, and then resod it.
Wow.
And hopefully it works the second
Is this a
time.
landscaping company or an independent guy?
It's a small independent.
Kijiji.
Yeah.
All the good guys are there.
Like the first guy you got.
Yeah. It's
Excellent.
actually a close relative of one of our listeners, and so I won't say who that is quite yet.
Is that right?
But they know who it is.
Is that right?
Yes.
Sounds like Gail's guy.
Oh, wow. There you go. It's out of the bag.
Oh, it is. That's right.
I remember you
right.
talking. I
Yes,
heard
we were
that.
talking over in your backyard, Wade, about
That's right.
about that, and so we.
Paul.
Yes, so we. No,
that's
no,
Sherry's.
no,
Sean. Sean?
Sean. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So we were talking about it over there, and so we sort of struck a tentative deal, and we're going to get started. So
Excellent.
Gonna give him free subscription to ProBroKnow.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as many episodes as he can
Yep.
watch.
For about 20 hours of your labor, you get to
That's
watch
right.
as many episodes as you want.
Exactly.
Anyway, speaking of episodes,
Yes.
what is the episode today?
It's Spence's
Yeah.
day.
So it's kind of a dark.
Wow, shocking.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
dark a little bit. But I thought we're gonna change it up. So today's topic is going to be. I kind of just called it like my eulogy, which was kind of I know.
Uplifting. Wow.
Yeah,
I figured
Can't
how
wait.
to put some smiles on everyone's face.
So
on a
expand
Friday.
on that. Give me.
So I just thought, I haven't really thought about it, but I just thought, I wonder how different each of us, view like our funeral. And are there certain things that we want to have happen? I know, Chad, you don't want any.
Don't mess up my mind.
Okay.
Don't tell my secrets.
I know there's certain things that some of us want and don't want at a
Yes.
funeral. And so I thought, let's just see how similar our answers are. But then I figured the twist could be, we each have these bowls of
Yes.
questions. And so
Yes,
we
we
each
have a
wrote a bunch
bowl.
of questions. Sorry, no. We
They're
each
answers.
wrote a
They're
bunch
answers.
of responses.
Yes.
Right.
And so I thought, because it is kind of a dark topic, that anytime throughout the podcast, if one of us says to the other person, hey, Chad, or hey, Wade, what do you think about that? Whenever that gets directed to you, you've got to reach in and
read
say
it.
your response.
And
Yes.
And I have no idea if it's going to match what we're talking about.
Probably not. No.
But that might be the fun of it. So
I should elaborate on that. I had sort of, thought about this morning, and I just said to you guys, as you know, just write down whatever. It's some kind of an answer to being asked the question, what do you think about that? And
I thought this was Spencer's idea, so you're taking credit for it now.
I'm taking credit
you're
for
just
that
making
part.
sure that everyone knows it was Chad's idea.
Yeah,
to put
okay. It is my
No.
podcast.
responses in a bowl.
Thank
So
goodness.
everybody,
Yeah,
I'd like to
just so
Thank
you know,
goodness you're here.
I'd like
so
to
you know.
just make sure everyone understands.
Chad's Bull podcast.
Anyways,
So I have a question though,
Yes.
and we don't have to do it.
yeah.
So, based on your response, if it's really out in left field, which I'm sure it's going to be,
Yeah, well, I don't have no idea what
do we
either
have to
wrote.
then continue the conversation around where you led it, or can we just continue on with
No, I think that
Okay.
it's just listen. I don't know what you wrote. I just know what I wrote, and they're probably not going to relate to any questions that that's being discussed.
Okay.
The point was it was just to sort of put an improv element into what we were doing, and just sort of send things out into another direction.
Well, I know your personality, so this will be interesting.
I can't wait to see who got my question and responses.
This will be
I
interesting.
wasn't too mean. Like I kept it relatively mild for mine, but anyways, I thought it would be interesting. So I guess we're going on to eulogies or my
Okay.
eulogy. Is that what you called it?
Or planning your funeral, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I'll start, since that was my topic. Even though it was Chad's bowl thing.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to take the credit.
Everyone, if you don't know, this is Chad's.
bowl was
These
it?
bowls are Chad's.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to.
No, but who wrote the
Give credit where credit's
Who
due.
had the idea for the responses?
No, Chad did.
Oh, that was Chad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're in
Okay.
Chad's studio.
Yes.
And
If anybody was wondering, it is, everything basically was my idea. That's basically what happened. Yeah.
yeah.
No, go ahead, Spence.
So my eulogy. So I think I'm just going to start by saying I don't want to have my funeral in a church. If that makes
Okay.
sense to you guys. I don't know if you guys have had the vision of
I'm the same.
rolling a casket
want that,
down.
Wade?
Well, no, but see, now that you just said roll the casket down, are you doing a casket or are you going to be cremated?
I'm doing cremation.
Yeah, so there may not be rolling a casket down.
Well, there's not going to be because I'm not going into a church. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Well, you can have a casket in a funeral home.
No.
Yeah. So you don't even want to be in a funeral home? You just want like a party in the living room? What do
Yeah.
you,
Why do I want to be in a funeral home? I hate funeral homes. Yeah, no. I don't want the guy at the front like, hello.
Right. Right.
Welcome.
Right. Like I don't know. I just the whole thing I just don't like.
So you want to have more of a
celebration
true
of life.
celebration
Yeah,
of
for
life,
sure.
but in a restaurant or something, or a cool little venue.
I haven't figured that. I haven't
You
planned.
should probably call Lord Nelson's now and make a reservation.
Yeah.
Just make sure you can get
Right?
Yeah. No, but honestly, that's what I want. I just want it to be a celebration, a bunch of people getting together and just kind of hanging
a
out.
party.
Yeah.
So
Celebrating.
not an official service
No.
of sorts.
No way.
Okay.
No.
What about?
Sorry. You go ahead, Wade.
Thanks, Chad.
But what do you think on that idea, Wade? What's your...
Oh,
How do you feel?
well, I'll tell you what I think. Let me just tell you what I think about that, Spence. This really seems to be over my head at the moment. So
Yeah.
I don't know what else to really say about that.
I can see that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like right over my head.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. I do have a question though for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I just lost what I was going to say after reading that.
It's over your head.
It is
Next.
over my head.
Yes. Yeah. Anyways, Wade, we'll just carry on without you. It's
No,
fine.
no, I know what I was going to say. So if you're not having a service per se, do you want people to say things about you at this
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
celebration
It's not
of
going to
life?
be like it's an open mic.
Oh, nice.
It's like an open mic, come up and just
Yeah.
say
When
whatever
anyone,
you want.
yeah, whatever.
So it could
Not
just be
as-
like a comedy night,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Not a structured, this person
No.
speaks, this person
No.
speaks. Okay.
No. It's just a gathering of friends and family that hopefully I touched in some weird way.
Hopefully
Okay.
not inappropriately.
Yeah, I'm sure I did in some instances.
So Chad, what do you think about what Spence is saying?
Well, I'll tell you what I think about that. I don't want to answer it because it's happened to me many times before.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that really
So
makes a lot of sense.
you've had this discussion many times before. Interesting.
Apparently quite a few times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Some interesting twist, Wade.
Yeah. So Chad, Spence wants to have more of a celebration of life,
Yes.
not a structured. This person talks now, and there's a man at the door going, "Hello, what's
yeah, no.
welcome, sorry for your loss, all that kind of stuff." Do you want something similar?
I definitely don't want the whole morose, is that the right word? I don't know.
No.
No, it's not. What does morose mean then?
Not that.
No, but what does it mean now? Because I don't know what it is.
I didn't even know the word.
No, that's
morose.
That's a word.
I do know. Do you want me to look it up?
I really.
How do you spell it?
MOROSE? I don't even know. Anyways, whatever the case, I do not want a dismal, sad thing. Like you, Spence, I want a party. I've said before, I think it'd be cool to have a live band. I mean, have you ever been to a funeral where there's a live band? I think that would be kind of,
I think you
I'm
should.
a
That's
musician.
kinda
I think that's fitting.
So Chad, just so you know, because you were right on track with that word, morose, it means sullen and ill-tempered.
Oh, so I was actually
So
right about
good
that.
for you,
So
Chad.
I'm actually shocked.
Good for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I think live music would be cool. I mean, you already know how I feel about the food that's going to be served, and it's certainly not going to be egg and tuna salad and salmon salad. There's going to be a shit ton of meat.
So it's not going to be the auxiliary ladies from the local Optimist Club making sandwiches.
It definitely will not. It'll definitely not be that. We're probably talking more like firehouse subs, and with a lot of meat and cheese, Kaisers, lettuce and tomato. Build your own ultimate Kaiser. That sounds more like my kind of thing.
So you want a live band at your
Why not?
celebration?
Why not?
And who would you like to be in the band?
Well, not you guys, because you'll be too busy crying and stuff. So probably somebody else. Somebody else.
But maybe I'd want to do that for you and play at your.
Well, listen, if you would like to play in the band at my funeral, you have my blessing.
Cool. Well, you have mine as well, Chad.
Thank
If you want to
mate.
play at
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. No, I want a better drummer, but anyways. Anyways, I don't know.
Interesting.
What do you think about that, Spence?
Well, let me just tell you. I think I can't believe they gave me a day pass for today.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
it's cool.
I just said, you know what?
Well,
cool.
we did say that it was
Yeah.
an important topic when we got you out, when we picked you up. So
Yeah,
I'm glad they did give you a day pass.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show you security is broken.
Yeah. Well, that's
When
they
do you have
say.
to be back, by the way?
5.
5.
5
Okay.
o'clock. Okay.
Perfect.
Jello and it's Jello time at
It's
5.
Jello time.
Nice.
Nice. Lime or cherry?
Orange.
Orange.
It's orange
Whipped cream?
Sundays.
Yeah, orange Jello on Sundays. Nice. That's very nice. Very nice. Speaking just while we're talking about this, did you guys see, or I know I showed it to you, I think a couple years ago, the trend of people that were being, what will I say, positioned on for their funerals? Remember that guy, Wade?
On the drummer.
Yeah.
On the drum machine.
Yeah.
Or the
In
drum
position.
Well, so there was this guy who died and was obviously a drummer, and they actually had the funeral home set him up in this behind a drum kit, like literally sitting up with
Yep.
whatever going into his body to hold him upright in front of a drum kit, dressed up like he was getting ready to play a gig, and there was flowers all around, and everybody came in and was like checking him out
Instead of a coffin. Kind of thing,
instead of a coffin, just sitting there behind a drum kit.
What do you think about that, Spence? Yeah.
Let me tell you. I think I can't focus right now because last night's tacos are taking effect.
Oh, that's awful.
Jesus. I didn't even have tacos.
Oh my God, that's too
That is too funny.
Perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, actually, what do you think about it though?
I think that's actually a great idea. Like, what's the whole point of? No, I'm not doing that again, Chad.
No, that's a serious.
We'll just
what do you
ask
think about
Spence
it?
every
Yeah,
time. What do you
No,
think
but I
about
do
that?
think that that's actually. Why would you want to be like in some, velvet, burgundy, whatever liner, and you're laying there? I don't know.
I don't like that either, but I'm not sure I like the whole sitting up in front of a drum set.
Well,
it's very macabre.
It's kind of macabre, but my head just goes to the dark side, which is what if they got you up there propped up, and then all of a
And
sudden
you
you're
fall
like,
sideways. I know.
Right?
you hear like,
Right? someone like bumps into the drum set and knocks
Right.
it over.
Yeah. I was just thinking, I want to see you play Wipeout like that.
Uncle Bob's had too many drinks, and he hits he bumps into the stage.
Oh,
and-
geez.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
Play
those-
Wipeout, my arms snap off. Rigor mortis is set in.
It'd be just like that movie Weekend at Bernie's.
Well, exactly like that, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure I'd want to have myself perched up on a stage, but
Playing guitar.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
exactly.
know.
Yeah, it'd be a little weird.
So have you ever thought about like what day you want your funeral?
What day? Like what day of the week you mean?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
So you
Well,
want to?
I thought it would probably depend on what day I died, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
hang on. Are you getting like cremated, or you're going to be buried?
I think probably cremated for me.
Okay, then it doesn't matter when you die.
Yeah. Well, true.
true.
So do I have a day? Like, does it want to be the 1st of spring or something? You mean?
Well,
Like,
or is it a Saturday? Is it a Friday night? Is it a Saturday afternoon?
I haven't really thought about it.
So what about this? Would you want, if you passed away in the winter, would you want to wait until the spring or summer to have your celebration of life? Or would you want it to be fairly close to when you passed away?
I think I would want it to be at a time when it was going to be most convenient for everybody to be able to come out and celebrate. So whatever that was. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, I have several thoughts about that, Chad. I'm just going to tell you one of those thoughts for now. I think that's fucking bullshit. I totally pay money to see that. So, yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about that. I would totally pay money to see that.
Chad's the one making money on his funeral.
Typical. He's probably not even going to tip anybody either.
Oh man! Wow.
Yeah, I
that
would
was quite
totally.
the
I would,
response there, Wade. I'm
I would
surprised
totally
to hear
pay
you
money.
say
To,
that,
I would
actually.
totally pay money to see that, Chad.
Yeah,
That is
wow.
for sure.
Yeah, I think I would want my celebration of life to be fairly soon after I passed.
You would.
I think so. I don't know.
But if it was winter and you wanted to be outside,
Well, then I'm going to have my celebration of life in like Greece or somewhere warm.
well, no, but I can see you, like when you're saying you want to have a party and not a typical service, I can see you wanting something either outside or on a beach or a cool venue of some kind that's just not your typical venue, right? Which may mean waiting until the spring or summer.
Yeah. I haven't put that much thought into it, to be quite honest.
So this is your topic, though. So.
Well, yeah, just because I had a topic doesn't mean I've done a bunch of legwork
Research.
on it.
I hope you're not thinking about that right away. I'm hoping I'm going to be here for a bit longer. So
I think when I get older and that becomes more of a thing, then
it's funny because I can answer more of what I don't want more than I can answer what I do want.
Well, why don't you tell us more about what you don't want then?
I was about to.
Well,
but
do it.
do it.
Go. Do it
Do
now.
it now. I don't want, like you said, I don't want the typical.
Right.
I don't want to be in a funeral home or there's some nice like funeral homes right now, but I still don't want to. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have this person at the front going, "Hi, sorry," and come this way. I want it to be a true celebration, a remembering of who I was, and not feeling sad about the fact that I'm gone. I know that. I
I
don't
doubt
want
anyone's going to be sad.
Oh, sure they will. Sure they will.
Just kidding.
I don't want the food thing, the sandwiches like you do. I'm not sure what I would serve, but I don't want. I would probably serve something that I really enjoyed in my life, so people kind of.
You know what? Everybody,
that.
we could do it at some place that serves a wicked beef tenderloin.
Because we all like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Why not?
Yeah.
Everybody just have a nice medium rare beef tenderloin in your honor.
What do you think about that, Spence?
Well, I personally can't stand the fact that asparagus makes my pee stink. To be quite honest.
What does it have to do with beef
Because I
tenderloin?
don't
Well,
want
no,
asparagus with beef
Yeah,
tenderloin.
yeah.
Okay.
Usually
Because
they,
that's typically
they
what
do normally
Chad
serve
serves.
the asparagus with
Yeah.
the beef
So
tenderloin.
clearly, we're not having asparagus with the beef tenderloin.
No, I prefer not.
At least not at your service.
No.
Okay.
At Chad's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else don't you like, Wade?
I think it just comes down to not wanting it to be a sad occasion. Obviously, I want people to miss me. Like I would feel like that would be weird if no one missed you.
Right.
But I don't want it to be a sad occasion. I want it to be a uplifting occasion. Remember the good things about me, not the bad things about me, or the sad things about me. That's what I do know.
Yeah, I kind of like your idea, Spence, of the open mic, as you called it, just where people can just kind of say whatever, but not just the sad stuff that's making everybody break down, but just
No, it's just a story of why that person was special, right? Like whatever memories you shared together, or what your connection was. Because then I think other people get to, they understand the friendships or the bonds that you had with those other people.
what would be what if you hired a comedian and did a roast as a funeral?
A roast.
Can you imagine?
No,
If you just-
I would not. I would not do that. I know you would do that.
Well,
because you like
I'm not
roasts.
sure that I would do that, but I'm just saying, like, it would be an interesting to just make a sad day and make everybody laugh.
But I think people might get offended almost by a roast at that. Some people don't find roasts funny. They find them highly offensive.
Well, what do you think about that, Chad?
Well, I'll tell you what I think. Given my vast amount of knowledge on this subject matter, I can't help but feel sexually aroused.
Wow.
Jesus. Necrophilia is in the house.
Oh my God, that is such a brutal
That
one,
explains
Spencer.
a lot.
Wow.
That wasn't
That wasn't
Spencer's.
mine.
That was yours.
That was
Wade.
mine, dude.
Yeah. Well, that comes from experience, I'm sure. Wade.
Wow.
Jesus. That was just perfect timing. Thank you so much.
It
for
was
that.
very good. Yeah.
For that, yeah.
I'm so glad you got that
part-time
one.
job at the hospital there in the morgue.
Oh, wow. So let's talk about music at your celebration of life. Because it used to be back in the day, you really liked Old and Wise, Alan
Yeah.
Parsons.
Yeah.
Very sad. It's not very uplifting. I like that music too. Do you guys want uplifting music? Do you want some sad music? Do you want any music?
Definitely. Yeah. If it's a live band, I want it to be a party atmosphere. I mean, this is going to sound funny, but wouldn't it be weird to have, or maybe cool to have a funeral where there was live music and everybody danced and enjoyed themselves and just told great stories?
Yeah.
And it was like a big dance party.
I have to say, I do love the live music idea. I've never thought about that, but I do love that idea.
Well, especially for you
sure.
guys, because you guys
Yeah,
and your music, it kind of seems fitting that that's what you would have.
Right. I'm sure somebody has done it, but it came to me recently, and I think I don't know who I was saying it to. Maybe it was Mom. I'm not sure.
But you don't want to be propped up in the corner.
No.
No Irish wake thing.
No.
But you might have. What about is your urn going to be in the room?
Yeah, I
Or just a picture?
No, I don't have a problem with that. But what I don't want is, I mean, I guess the videos with all the pictures and stuff. I guess that's okay. I don't want all the sad stories. I don't want all the,
Yeah, I think the pictures are nice for people to kind of remember the good times for sure.
You guys are going to see a lot of fish pictures.
That's who you are.
In my case, right?
Yeah.
So
We're just going to mount you on the wall like a big fish.
hey,
like
you
a
should,
big,
maybe that's
like
how
a
I
big
should.
pickerel.
Maybe that's how I should go out, just like a giant tuna on the wall.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't know. What do you think, Spence?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, Chad, because listen, if I want to go topless at a public beach, then I should be able to.
I mean,
I agree.
yeah.
I mean,
You know?
what about, are you going to go topless for Chad's celebration of life then?
No, I'm going to be topless at my funeral. Just this big dad bod propped up in the corner.
He's the only guy who said to the funeral home he wanted to wear a G-string on his way out.
We're just going to call him Droopy.
Yeah, droopy. Then I figured you could do the same thing, Chad. You could just be laying there and like a little guacamole dip in the chest. People can just scoop their chips.
I'll be the buffet.
They're doing body shots from Chad's chest. That's awesome.
Oh my God.
What do you think if they did that, Chad? What do you think about that?
What do I think? I think that today's Friday, and on Fridays, I identify as someone who doesn't have to answer any questions.
There you go.
That's a good thing it's Friday then.
Yeah.
You got into that one. Interesting.
Yeah, I got out of it.
So we want music, live music for you, uplifting. What about you? Never answered the question. So sad music,
No, obviously there's going to be some probably sad songs in there because there's
sentimental music.
yeah. I think more sentimental.
So do you have a song in mind right now? What's your latest one?
No, I don't. I've got lots of songs.
Yeah.
What I know is, and it's probably bad of me to say, but when you go to a funeral and they say, this was so-and-so's favorite song, let's just all sit and listen quietly. And they play the song and we just all sit there and we just kind of look around like, okay, it's almost done. I don't want to do that to people. I feel like I don't want to make them.
That's awkward for you.
Yeah, I'm good with you playing the song if there's a favorite song of mine, but the idea that we just all sit there quiet, I don't know, that just feels weird to me for some reason. I don't think I want that.
Yeah, see, I look at it this way. I don't think I'm going to have that kind of stuff happening when there's everyone there. But I think when everyone
Like
leaves,
private family sort of thing.
yeah, then maybe there's some
interesting.
songs that are played.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about if you're going to be cremated? Do you want to have any kind of a viewing of your body beforehand
No.
in a casket?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. I'm the same. I don't want
Of course,
that
Spence is going to be topless, so it won't
True, we
matter,
don't
but
want to see that.
No.
I don't want that either.
Maybe I want you to see that.
But if you want me to see it, well, I would honor your wishes, of course. Yeah.
I would hope that's not in your will that we have to look at you topless before you go.
Well, what do you think about that, Wade?
About you being topless in your casket? Well, I have been thinking about this actually for a while. So all I know is if I could go back to grade 1 and start over, I would. I mean, that's what I know. So
So you don't want to die.
no, why would I want to die?
If you start back over, you basically get to relive it all
Yeah.
again. So you're kind of living for eternity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the music, we've got the food, the venue. I don't know why. I don't think I have a big enough sailboat, but I'd love to do it on a sailboat.
Oh,
That would
wow.
be cool. Yeah. I should have added that I would love for mine to be around the water somewhere.
Yeah,
Of
me
course,
too.
of course.
I think sprinkled in the water after is probably ideal if we're allowed to do that.
Are you allowed to do that? Because I don't think you are.
Who gives a
very-
shit?
I know-
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I would still do it. But
No,
legally,
come on, guys, we're not allowed.
we're caught.
Yeah.
But legally, are you allowed to do it?
No,
Not anymore.
Well, do they still do burials at sea?
I'm sure they do.
I would imagine they probably do.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of laws,
Maritime law or whatever.
but
Yes.
just laws around what you get. Like you can't spread ashes places,
Yeah.
but people do. And what do they like? I don't know.
That's such a weird law to me.
Yeah,
Why can't you? Disease?
Human remains?
There's
I
no
don't know.
disease. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not quite sure. What do you think about spreading remains?
About spreading remains? Well, I think as a man, it's my right.
Makes sense.
Does a woman have the same right?
I'm sure she does, but in this case, that's my answer.
Wow. That's a very
that's-
misogynistic answer of you,
Yeah,
Chad.
yeah, that was a good one. Thank you, Spencer.
You're welcome for that one.
No, I don't know if you can. I hope you can be. I mean, listen. I know if I told you to put my ashes out on the lake somewhere, you'd look around. If nobody was looking, it would
Of
happen
course,
anyways.
I would do it. Yeah, Lake
But-
St. Clair.
Yeah. Well,
Would it
sure,
be the cottage
whatever.
lake?
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I don't really know what the laws are regarding that. I guess I should look into that in case I'm going to write it into my wishes.
Yeah, well, I can tell you now, the laws are you're not allowed to do that.
Is that right? For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think about that, Wade?
Well, I mean, the fact that the laws don't allow to do it, I mean, I don't think that's fair, but I think you need to brush your teeth because I can smell your raunchy breath all the way across the table. That's, I mean,
Sorry, are you talking to me or to Spencer?
no, like, I mean, your breath smells like you're dead already, Chad. So,
Oh, you're talking to me.
well,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so
I
much.
smelled across the table.
Yeah, that's
like-
clearly
it's
a
like-
Spencer one.
It's like corpse breath.
Yeah, beautiful.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I'm curious to know, like we've talked about kind of what we want or don't want, but I'm curious to know, have you talked to your wives about this? Do they know your wishes?
We've talked about it, like, we've talked about the sandwich thing about, there's
yeah.
not going to be
Everyone
any mayo,
knows
so,
that
yeah,
one, yeah.
That's no surprise.
Although, because we're your brothers, we're going to have some ham and butter
Oh,
sandwiches.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just said no mayo, so I guess ham and butter could slide by.
we're
possibly.
gonna cut them
I'm
into
putting an egg
fingers.
salad sandwich in your pocket.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, come on now.
Cremated.
That's like
Before you're cremated, you're going to have an egg salad sandwich in your
I'm
pocket.
not having an egg salad when I'm alive or dead. I'm just telling you right
Well,
now.
I got news for you. You're not going to have a choice.
It's not happening. Yeah.
It's going in your pocket.
No, I'm going to put it I'm going to shove it behind the urn so it stinks like egg salad when you
wow.
walk up to.
Yeah. So just to attract all the worms and stuff later. Yeah. That's great.
Worms.
Fish food. Yeah, you're good
Yeah.
fish bait.
Well, I guess I'd be in the lake, so it really wouldn't matter.
So does Missy know your plans?
yeah, I would say for the most part. I mean, we haven't.
So she
I
knows you
don't
want
have
a
my-
band, and
What?
she knows you want a band.
Yeah, I think she knows that I want to have live music. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So if we asked her right now, would she say she knows your plans?
I don't know. Do you want to call her and just ask her? Yeah.
Well, I think we should.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Spence?
Well, I hate the fact that when I don't have facial hair, I look like a guy with a white van and a bed in the back.
That was meant for Chad, just so you know.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that was.
Except I have facial hair, so it couldn't.
I
have been-
really wanted you to have that one,
Did you?
Chad.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah, we'll just wait till yours comes along. Wait. Oh my God, that's funny.
I just remember when you shaved your face for your nose
Yes,
surgery.
I know
Yeah.
that was weird looking.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, it's weird. As much as, and Tina and I have talked about certain aspects of like our funerals and planning, but I haven't gone into the detail of, all the specifics, which I guess I probably should.
yeah,
But
yeah,
as long as you guys know,
yeah.
and if something happens to me, you can be like, hey, Tina, listen, just so you know, this is
Well, you haven't really
watch episode. We'll get another
You haven't
view.
really given us everything. Though.
We'll get
Like,
another
I mean,
viewer.
we know that you don't want it to be at a funeral home, and we know that we don't really know that much about it. You haven't really said that much today.
It's interesting though. Why don't we talk to her? I mean, I don't talk to Sue about it because I just think it's so. I don't know. It's just a weird topic to talk about.
I'm not there yet. I feel like I'm.
No, but you
I guess when I get older,
you never
know.
know.
I know you never know.
No, I think we have a will, but it hasn't been updated for 20 some years. So
Same
I
with us.
definitely need to do that.
But the way we did it back then was everything goes to our spouse or to our kids. So
Correct. Yeah.
it doesn't matter
Doesn't
at this
really
point.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think there'll be some subtle changes that we'll want to make at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to take you out of it. Example.
Do I get your guitars? That's what I want to know.
Actually, you do.
I do.
Yeah,
I get your guitars.
yeah.
Wow.
What do I get?
Whatever Wade doesn't want. No, I would have to go back and look at it, Wade. But I think
You just gave me the studio. I should
no, I think I definitely recall. I'm not sure because honestly, it was about 25 years ago we did it. But I think I definitely gave you something, either a guitar or a couple of guitars, so you would just have something musical of mine. Yeah, I definitely did. I just can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was maybe a kazoo.
perfect. Yeah. Tambourine.
Yeah.
I know one thing I want to have is that whenever someone comes up to say something, I'm just gonna have like a bottle of tequila and shot glasses. So as you
Oh, wow.
say something, you can do a toast.
Wow.
Just get like hammed at your
No,
funeral.
how's everyone getting
So
hammed?
they're
just the
toasting
person
you.
doing it
Yeah.
They're just toasting you.
does a tequila and
Oh, I
toasts
see.
me.
Why tequila? Why not like a good scotch?
Yeah,
Because it's a shot.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not
yeah.
really. And I was.
Could you pick something better than tequila?
Tequila?
Like
No,
something that I
that's-
would.
No,
like?
he's gonna have a good
How about
tequila.
I like
though.
tequila.
Sambuca?
He's gonna have a good tequila though.
Yeah, it'll be very good.
Chad, the
right.
least you could do is down a shot of tequila.
I would have. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course I would do that. But I mean, I'd rather it was.
Spence, what do you
Sambuca.
think about the fact that he won't even take a shot of tequila at your funeral?
Well, I was just thinking that I apologize. I manscaped earlier today, and the itch is killing me.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
actually, it's funny that I got that one because in the shower this morning, I was like, "Oh my god,
I need to
I
manscape.
need to manscape."
Oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely do. For the record, I actually
Jesus.
thought about doing it this morning in the shower, and I was like,
Just make sure you do it before the funeral.
The itch is awful for sure. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I got to do that. And I'm usually pretty good at keeping that.
Keeping it trim.
Yeah, yeah.
So glad that you brought us up to speed on that.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to see at the funeral, so you might as well be prepared for it.
So you're not just topless.
It's not just bare chested.
You're like nude in the casket.
Wow. I'm going to need the tequila.
You know what? We're going to know it's his casket. It's going to be yellow.
Oh my God.
It's going to be McCone oil on it.
Oh wow.
It's like that's got to be his casket pillow.
That's so gross.
Our ashes are all yellow. Like, what the heck's going on?
Yes.
It's like, did they sprinkle turmeric in there? What is going on?
my God.
That's brutal. Maybe you should explain that, Wade.
What's
What?
the yellow?
Yes.
Well, I kind of did. We all have the McCone oil.
Yeah.
It's like a trait, family trait.
Yeah.
Greasy skin.
Yeah, I don't know
some
what I don't know what it is because I don't feel like I do during the day, but I wake up and my
At night, your body
my pillowcase, my at night just
excretes.
like this yellow like forehead sweat just seems to come off my pillow and stain it. I don't know what it is, but we all.
I mean,
have
really, it's a good thing we're being for cremation. It's going to just add to the flame.
Oh,
It.
yeah.
Yeah.
Inferno.
Who needs lighter fluid? Just already have the oil going on.
Exactly. It's just like Crisco in there.
It is. What are your thoughts on that, Chad?
I think as long as the kids don't get hurt, what's the issue?
Oh, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else you want for your funeral that we should know?
Yeah, you brought it up, so this is your chance.
I don't think so. But I think the good thing about this podcast is that it reminds me that I probably should have a conversation with Tina.
I think
So
it's
she
true.
understands everything,
Yeah,
right?
it's true. I was going to ask you. Sorry, I cut you off. But
No, go ahead.
what about donating any of your organs?
No,
You're not doing that.
no.
And tell me why.
Well, that liver's going to be so diseased anyways by
Well,
then.
honestly, that's kind of what it is.
What?
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't know. I think.
Well,
I
shouldn't
plan
you
on
let the
living
hospital
along-
decide if the organ is good enough for them to use instead of you
Yeah,
deciding?
I don't know why. I'm weird that way. I'm not a big organ donator. I
Well,
know I
because
probably should
you're
be.
still alive, so that's why you're not a big donator.
No, but I just I worry that I don't know. I just have this feeling.
I mean,
of,
Chad and I have donated, but
Yeah.
what do you feel about donation, Chad?
What do I think about that?
Yeah.
I'd like to turn this back on you and ask you, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because I'd say go ahead and do it because there's no chance she's ever gonna let you do it again.
Wow. Oh, okay. That's good advice. I like it.
Yeah, that's well, that's what I'm here for.
I don't know. Wait. Any last thoughts? What are your thoughts? What do you think
I
about it?
mean, Chad, there's so many, but I'll limit it to just one for now. Do you think that I need a haircut? It feels a little long on the top.
You know what? I'm
So glad I got this one.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
happy
think
that
so.
I
I
wrote
think
that
you're
one
good.
for you. Yeah.
Am I good?
Yeah, I think you're good. I don't think you need any more hair loss.
Okay. Perfect.
Haircut, sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's not the
Spence,
top; it's really the back now. It's going to the back.
Yeah. Soon I'm just going to comb my eyebrows up.
the top
Ooh,
is
that'd be
basically
nice.
the back. Now.
The top is the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the back is the new top.
No, I think so. I'm curious about the organ donation because I know at one point I did put on my driver's license I would donate.
Yeah,
and
I did too.
I don't think recently I've done that, and it's a weird thing because it's like I don't know how I feel about that. But you're dead, so what does it matter? But it's
I know that you're dead. I don't. Maybe I've seen too many movies or shows or documentaries where they've got these bodies in the lab and all the students from the medical thing are like testing out their stuff on the cadavers. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to.
yeah, but you can specify that. That's
I know,
that's
but-
donating to medical science or research. That's
Right.
different.
Right.
But how do you know they're not going to do that?
Well, I mean,
How do you know?
ethically they need to follow. I mean, you don't know, I guess.
Right. But I know that if I say
but you're
no
dead.
to organ donation, no one's getting it.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know? If they're
Well-
not going to follow your
Well,
wishes, they
wait.
might not follow your wishes.
Honestly, for me, if somebody could use my eyes or whatever after I'm gone, I'm good with it. Why wouldn't I try to help somebody out? Hopefully I will be old enough at that point that they probably won't want any of my stuff anyways. 'Cause
glaucoma eyes.
It's too old, right?
Yeah.
But if it's in good shape, somebody can have
I
it.
actually think at one point that I said yes to organs except for my eyes, and it was just a weird thing for me. About it felt weird to do that. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I said when I was younger, I said yes to organ donation. Like I think late teens, early 20s and 30s, I said yes, and then I think most recently I just didn't check that. I didn't check it off.
Well, I don't know. It's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised you brought it, but I don't mind. It's a little dark.
Well,
but,
hang on. Here's a question before we. I wanted to end with this because this kind of came up when I was talking about the idea with Tina, which was, I said to her, "Would you rather know when you're going to die or how you're going to die?"
Oof.
And she said,
I'm sorry.
"She said
say-
when?
say-
When?
You said what? How? You want to know when or how?
Yeah. Would you rather know how you're going to die or when you're going to die?"
Interesting.
And she said when.
What do you think about that, Wade?
Well, I mean, it's an incredibly tough question because they both have their pros and cons. But really, I'm not sure. But for some reason, I've got a huge boner popping up in my jeans right now.
Whoa.
Who the heck? That's yours.
God.
That's yours, Spence.
You're so
isn't it?
brutal,
That is
Spencer.
your writing, dude.
Oh, that's so brutal. I'm sorry, Wade. That's what a great way to. Thank you for coming and watching.
Yeah,
Pro Bono.
let's just end it right there.
ProBroKnow.
Nothing else.
Thanks for watching.
Pro boner? Is that what you said?
ProBroKnow.
Nothing else to say. Okay.
Oh, but hang on. Would you rather know when or know how?
So you really want us to answer this question?
I'm curious.
That is a tough. That's a really tough question.
I don't think so.
If I
don't
I
think-
physically have to,
No, sorry. Tina said she wanted to know how.
how she died, I don't think I would want to know that.
I don't think I want to know when though either.
Yeah. Do you
what-
have to pick one?
Yeah.
What if the when is next week?
Right. But wouldn't you rather know that? So then you can
So you could just make the best
make
of it?
accommodations and visit all the people or say all the things you wanted to say to someone. And that was my argument to Tina. I was like, because she said how. And I was like, you want to know how and not when? She goes, no, I don't want to know when. But I was like, I think I want to know when. So I can be prepared. Like I can prepare and I can.
Well,
Because here's what's crazy about death is I think we all understand it's going to happen.
yep.
But we all think it's not going to happen to us for so long. It's
Well, sure.
don't got to worry about it.
let's
But we
hope
all
not.
know
Yeah.
it can be like that and you're gone, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those weird things I think in life is that you don't want to think about it, but you do know there is this instant finality that can happen.
But how are you going to feel if you say you want to know when, and someone says it's actually a week from today?
Yeah, I would rather know that and have a week to say all the things I wanted to say to the people that meant to me.
Yeah,
meant
I guess
something.
so. Well,
Well-
you're giving everybody a lot to think about, Spence.
I feel like you're wrapping me up.
I am wrapping
He
you
is
up.
wrapping up. He didn't even answer the question.
I know.
Well, I don't really have an answer. I don't want to know. I guess I'd rather know when than how. Yes, I guess if I have
Correct.
to answer,
Yeah.
sure.
If I had to pick one, it'd be
Yes,
when.
if I have
Because
to.
I don't want to know if it's a horrific
I don't
death.
really want to know either one right now, but that if I have to
know.
pick, that's my answer.
Yeah.
So
Someone says you're falling off the CN Tower and catching your face on a nail on the way down. I don't think I want to know that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then just never go to the CN Tower. And
That's
guess what?
true.
well, that's
I guess
true.
I've
There you go.
never
It's
done it.
perfect.
Yeah. They said in your sleep.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I only said that I wouldn't want to know how, because if it's like, oh, it's in a car accident, or if you die in whatever,
some kind of horrific blaze.
I don't care about that. But just whatever it was, every time I was doing that thing, I'd be thinking like, is this
Right.
is this the time?
Right.
Because
That's
when I
true.
shower, I'm going to die in the
Right.
shower every
That's
morning.
true.
I'm showering. I'm like,
Yeah, because what if they
Yeah.
said you die in a boating accident?
Right.
And you're like,
Yeah.
I boat every weekend.
Absolutely.
every time you're
No,
boating, you're wondering like,
Yeah.
is this?
That's true.
I agree. Well, thanks for just messing with my head now. 'cause
Yeah,
I was getting
right.
ready to go fishing. I mean,
Right?
the ice is off
No,
the
that's
lake.
that's a good point, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
interesting topic.
Yeah. And I liked your little responses. They were kind of
Yeah,
fun.
you know what? It brings a little bit of humor to such a dark topic.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
anyways,
well, we'll see
Well,
you
thanks
guys.
for participating.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll see you guys next Friday.
Thanks for bringing that one. Ciao.